Good morning, it's Doug from Vermont Hoyas, and welcome to a visit with myself and Hoya phyllura, also known as Hoya linusii, which is how I bought the plant. Apparently this was discovered in 1931 as Hoya phyllura, and then in recent history a different color variation was found in Borneo, and it was not named Hoya linusii, but they realized that it's really the same plant, so it has reverted to Hoya phyllura. So that's what we're going to call it. This plant, I received it as a cutting from AKA Hoya's probably about 8 months ago. It arrived with a very green stem, but all the leaves had fallen off, so I thought I had lost it. But it managed to root and new leaves formed. This does not happen very often, but this was the case with this plant. It has grown not particularly well for me. There's many yellowish leaves on this plant, and I think after the flowers have fully opened on this, I will be starting it over and taking multiple cuttings. I think this might be one. I've seen photos on the internet of them growing really nicely and healthy in semi-hydro, so I may try it with that. I also may try a cutting in sphagnum moss and see how it works that way, but it didn't do particularly well. It also could have had too much light. It's very hard to say, but the whole top canopy of the plant, the leaves yellowed and wanted to fall off. But I can get several really nice cuttings out of this plant, so we're going to go that way. This plant is mentioned with a really nice article in the Guide to the Hoyas of Borneo, which I recommend everyone should own. It's a fantastic book. Let's take a look at the flowers. The flowers are gorgeous, even though the plant may not be gorgeous. There's only the faintest of scents coming out of that plant. I can barely detect it. Slightly sweet, but it's definitely very faint. Gorgeous flowers. Glad that at least I flowered it, even if the plant itself does not look all that great. And stick around to the end of this video. You'll see some great photos, I hope, of the blooms. Hey, it's Doug from Vermont Hoyas, and welcome to the second part of my video on Hoya phyllura, aka Hoya linusii. And you can see that I tried growing this plant in another medium. I'm growing it in pond, and I grew it semi-hydroponically with hopes that I could get a better looking plant that I had the last time. But I have to say that this plant has been a huge disappointment. I just simply can't figure out how to grow it. You can see how yellow, it may not come out in this video, but these leaves are very chlorotic, full of spots. Just can't grow this plant properly. Two different mediums. I've given up on it, so I'm pitching this, and I just wanted to show this before I threw it out. And one more thing on this Hoya phyllura before I close this out. I just noticed when I was pulling this out of its pot and getting ready to throw it out that look at these roots. I don't know if you can tell, but these are some of the healthiest roots I've ever seen on any plant. Look at that. There's not one speck of root rot in here. Totally white, beautiful leaves, no roots, no sloughing of the roots. Just, they couldn't be any healthier. So whatever the heck is wrong with this plant, and the reason that I can't grow it, it's not because of root rot, because the roots are incredible. So I don't know whether it's nutrient deficiencies or what the heck the problem is, but it just simply won't grow properly so that it's a nice looking plant. So usually 95% of the time you can trace the problem back to roots, but with this particular plant, that is not the issue. Roots couldn't be any healthier. Well, once again, that's it. Thanks for taking the time and looking at this review of Hoya phyllura, and I'll be back really soon with more great Hoyas and Hoya growing tips.